I thought that it will be a basically HR round, but no HR question is related to that. He asked me about related questions as like a system design. Yeah, I don't know whether it is system design or no. At that time, I don't know it is basically a system design related question, but I have to answer that question, so I know which algorithm should be used. So I handle that in good way. Related to sliding window. So I know how to solve that question, and he told me to open any editor and solve that question. He told me to make a main function and put all the test cases and tell me whether in which edge cases this is going to fail. So hello everyone. Today we have a special guest on our channel. We have Mansi. So Mansi, would you like to introduce yourself? Hello Ashish and hello everyone. Myself Mansi Singh, and thank you so much for inviting Ashish. And I am from UP, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, and I am currently living in Delhi. And I am doing my BTech from IGDTUW from Mechanical and Automation Engineering branch. And I am currently in my third year, and I am going to be an upcoming SD intern at Microsoft. So that's all. Yeah, nice. And also Mansi has just opened a YouTube channel where she'll be sharing great tips about DSA and placements. So do check out her channel. I'll give a link in the description. So like Mansi said, she's an upcoming SD at Microsoft. So tell us everything about your interview experience. How did it go? What all happened? So it basically started when I was an off campus, but basically it is a on campus. So I applied off campus best because I don't know whether the company is going to college or not, and if it is coming, so whether it is going to allow mechanical or not. So I applied through off campus, but after 2 days I got to know that Microsoft is coming on campus. So same form is being considered to on campus. Basically there are 3 rounds. So the first round was a online assessment round in which there are around 3 questions and we have to solve it in 90 minutes. So the 2 questions are medium level and 1 question is a hard level. So I can say that one of the medium question is basically based on easy level. So we can say that. So all the 3 questions we have to solve that, and I solved all the 3 questions. And after 2 days, we got a mail about it. Some student got shortlisted, and my name was there. So I get so excited, and I have to prepare for that. So I have a 2 days to prepare for my interview, and so there are basically 2 round of interview. And the first round of interview was basically DSA round, and the second round of interview was HR round. My interview started in the morning, the first interview, and it is basically DSA. I introduce myself, and after that the interviewer has a question which is basically related to sliding window. So I know how to solve that question, and he told me to open any editor and solve that question. So I know that it is an interview of Microsoft, so I prefer to use VS Code because it is the product of Microsoft. Good choice. So I started, yeah. So I opened the VS Code and I started making a function for that to solve that question. After that, in 5 to 6 minutes, I solved the question because I know the approach how to solve that question. And after he told me to make a main function and put all the test cases and tell me whether in which edge cases this is going to fail. But I know that my code is going well and it won't fail at any case. So I tell all the edge cases where it can fail. I put all the inputs about all the edge cases and given the output so that he is confirmed that my code is running. And he told me to dry my code for at every point. So I dry run all the code, and in that way he asked me all the question on that question only. So basically he asked me only 1 question related to DSA. So it is around 50 minutes of interview, and it goes on the same question. So on the last he told me that you are selected for the second round of interview, and he also advised me to be confident as you are in this interview. And I can say that the interview was very good, and he made me very comfortable because I was so nervous in my first round of interview, and it is also my first interview in my college. So I am so nervous, and I couldn't sleep at that night. So he confirmed me that you are selected for a second round of interview. So the second round of interview started. Firstly, he introduced himself, and he told me that he had an 18-year of experience. So I got so nervous after that whether he is going to ask what type of question. I remembered that the first interviewer had told me to be confident, and after that I gave my introduction. There is I have an experience of a teaching in my first year and in my second year. So I give an introduction that I have a teaching experience. So first the question that the interviewer asked me is that you are going to opt your career as a teaching or you want to become a software engineer. And he also told me that he won't get going to judge me on the basis of that. So I told him, I handled that question very confidently. I said that I got an opportunity, so I don't want to miss any opportunity, and I want to grab every opportunity. And as I have an skill, so I can, if I means share the knowledge, then it was definitely going to increase. So that's why I opt for that and goes for that. And I'm looking for a software engineer. So I answered that question very well. And after that, I thought that it will be a basically HR round, but no HR question is related to that. He asked me about related questions just like a system design. He asked me that in a movie theater, if you have to make a ticket based system, then what algorithm would you use and how you make that system. So I have to told which data structure I have to use. So I told him that if the ticket is already is allotted to someone, that seat is allotted to someone, we can use for that hash map or a hashtag. That if it is already present in a hash map, that we won't have to allot it to someone else, and we can use priority queues for the price related things. And that's all the algorithm I told him. And after that, another question that he asked me is that if I am the owner of one state and you are the owner of the one state, and I don't have an access of your state and you don't have an access of my state, so what you will use to give me an access of your state. So it is basically related to OOPS, and we have to use the getters and setters like a password. So I have to answer that, and I have answered that. And there are many questions related to system design. Basically all the questions are related to system design. So there is one question that he asked me, and the mistake that I have done is he's explaining me the question, and in between I started answering the question answer. So he take the pause, small pause. So I thought the question is completed, but it is not completed. So I started answering the answer. So in the last of the interview, as I found that interviewer was comfortable. So I asked him whether my interviews goes well or not. It is not advised to ask, but I asked. So he told me 5 to 6 positive points, but one negative point. He told me that be a good listener and listen more and talk less. So I thought that maybe due to this point, he may reject me. So I was very nervous after giving the interview. But on the same day, the result get announced around 9 p.m. So there was my name, and I am so happy because this was my first interview, and I am from a mechanical branch. So I am from my whole mechanical branch. I got selected, and one student also got selected for Microsoft. So I am so much happy after that.
Yes, yes. So even for internship, they ask system design questions and all.
Yeah, I don't know whether it is system design or no. At that time, I don't know it is basically system design related question, but I have to answer that question, so I know which algorithm should be used. So I handle that in good way.
So what would you say was your preparation strategy? How did you prepare? Because they asked everything. They asked DSA also, OOPS also, CS fundamental system design. So how would you say was your preparation strategy that you were able to crack all of these?
Basically, as I already told that I am from core branch, so I started in my first year itself to learn DSA. So I learned my DSA in my first semester, and after that I got an opportunity to teach coding in Coding Ninja.
Oh wow! So you were a
so I got an opportunity, so I grabbed that opportunity, and I for 4 months I teach it there. And after that, I got an opportunity in my society, college society, to be a DSA mentors. So I become a DSA mentor. So after that, I started preparing for lead code questions, and started giving contest. And I also follow the sheet of Labbabhar Bhaiya to solve the questions. And I solve almost all the question, not all the question. I can say I leave some questions,
majority.
hard level question. Yeah, hard level question, but I solved all the medium level up to medium level questions. So it helped me a lot. And yeah, that's the things. And I am also after that leaving the teaching assistance at Coding Ninja, I got an opportunity at iNeuron to teach. So I grabbed that opportunity also, and I'm currently as a teaching assistant at iNeuron. So in the internship session also, they asked me one question. So I remembered now that what you have done in your summer. So in my summer, I put my all effort, and basically in my summer, I have contributed in a Girl Script Summer of Code and Social
Yeah.
Summer of Code. So he asked me about that, in which project you contributed. So in the my summer, I prepared my as I am not comfortable to give the interview in English. So I started preparing by owning the camera and making a
Yeah.
video and explaining the question to yourself, so that I can prepare for the internship. And also I made a friend circle
Hmm.
in which we take the interview of
Mock
each other
interviews.
to under yeah, mock interviews, so that we can feel comfortable when we give the interview. So in the summer, we utilize so much our summer to grab the internship. So that's the thing that we have prepared, and all the resources that we have
Mm-hmm.
used.
Nice, that's very amazing. And you being a 2025 graduate, you've already cracked a big company like Microsoft, and that too in the first interview that you mentioned of university. So,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to, other freshers who are 2025, 2024 graduates who are looking for a job? What tip or advice would you give to them?
So the tips that I want to give you is a be consistent and give your 100% and solve the question as you can, and follow the sheets or make your own sheets to solve the question. And if you are solving the question and if you do not try it with your own, means you are seeing the solution and after that you have put the
Mm-hmm.
question, solve
Yeah,
the
yeah.
question. So so please go back on that question and try to solve it again, because it's not your mind and it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Your
using your mind to
solution.
solve that
Yeah.
question. Yeah, it is not your solution, so please go back and solve that question again, so that you can remember if the question appears once again. So be consistent and be give a contest and solve the lead code question. Basically, if you solve the questions, also give an interview experience, because most of the students have an skill
Mm-hmm.
but they do not perform well in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to perform well in an
Yeah.
interview also, because the you have to think what the interviewer want, and you have to answer that on the basis of the interviewer what they want. So it is basically based on the interviewer
Mm.
what they want.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Mansi, for coming on my channel. I guess that covers pretty much everything about Microsoft's interview experience and cracking a company like Microsoft. So again, thanks a lot. And again, guys, I'll give a link to Mansi's channel in the description. Do check her out, and she has made great videos on DSA already. So go check her out. And again, thank you, Mansi.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for inviting me, and thank you so much.